This woman should be in jail. Literally, Hillary Clinton should be behind bars. And so should the people who worked for her who did this. This is so blatantly corrupt. She wanted to distract from her email scandal. She cooked up a plan to accuse Trump of being a Russian agent in order to distract from her own legitimate scandal. She made up a scandal about Trump being a Russian asset. And they banked on the intel agencies working with her to perpetuate this lie, and it appears they were only too happy to assist.
What results when a legacy founded on dominance, manipulation, and flawlessly rehearsed responses meets Megyn Kelly's icy and slicing accuracy? Utter explosion. Hillary Clinton, armored by decades of political shielding. Yet Megyn arrived wielding truth sharper than a blade, with humor that pierced through every mask. Zero sympathy, no filler, just a harsh dismantling of the legend live. This wasn't simply mockery, it was judgment. And Hillary didn't expect the glare to reverse that quickly.
We know how Russiagate got started, and we know that it was all a lie started by the Hillary Clinton campaign. That the Hillary Clinton campaign realized she was in trouble because of her email scandal, which had broken in 2015 in the wake of Benghazi. We found these emails of hers that were weird, and people were like, what server was that on, and so on. And it created a problem for her.
Hillary strolls into events like the embodiment of past scandals, towing along a catalog of blunders that still reek of entitlement. Megyn didn't just enter that crisis. She brought a beacon, a bullhorn, and sarcasm's flamethrower capable of thawing Hillary's stiff smirks. At this stage, Hillary's barely political. She's more of a rerun, endlessly looping in the background, pretending she's a headliner.
Description, here's a part, I won't make you watch the whole, a part of the trailer for Gutsy.
We're hitting the road to shine a light on women who inspire us to be bolder and braver.
Leadership doesn't look one way. It's a giant rainbow.
You're not gonna break me down. You'll get worn out before I do.
Women who push us outside our comfort.
Megyn never had to dig hard for flaws. Hillary's track record is a banquet of political blunders, served cold beside deleted emails and a gravy boat of blame shifting. Seeing Hillary discuss leadership feels like watching a GPS glitch post-lake dive. And Megyn, she's calmly in back asking why anyone licensed this driver to begin.
Is now pretending like she did not call Donald Trump an illegitimate president when he beat her in 2016. She's expressing her horror and how indignant she is over him challenging the 2020 election results. And okay, that's fine. You can say you don't like how Trump behaved after, whatever, his loss, January 6th, the whole bit. But you cannot, if you are Hillary Clinton, play the whatever challenge.
There's unintentional humor in Hillary's fight for relevance, like someone patching campaigns together using guest spots, lectures, and patronizing interviews. Megyn skipped formalities. She lit the illusion on fire and watched it fall. Hillary's version of leadership triggers longing for silence. She enters as a symbol of every mess we prayed was buried.
Guys, but just for the record, let's play SOT 10.
I do think that he knows that he's an illegitimate president. I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president. He knows that there were a bunch of different reasons why the election turned out the way it did. And as I've been telling candidates who have come to see me, you can run the best campaign, you can even become the nominee, and you can have the election stolen.
She no longer campaigns. She hangs around like that pop-up, begging you to subscribe to disaster. Megyn played each second like comedy ready-made. The Clinton Foundation? Not a foundation. More like a trophy case of botched efforts in philanthropic disguise. And every time Hillary brings up integrity, somewhere cosmic irony face plants into a top-secret mess.
And as she got closer to Election Day, she decided to concoct two lies about Donald Trump to distract from her email scandal. She got the Steele dossier through this Fusion GPS company that her campaign paid, and she got this group CrowdStrike, which was the one responsible for the hack into that. That's the one that said that the Russians hacked.
Megyn didn't need to embellish anything. She reflected reality, and the absurdity overflowed like a clown vehicle of disasters. Hillary's compass whirls like a slot, always landing on excuse. She torches relationships, then preaches unity while cooling herself off with a speech labeled why I deserve victory. Megyn simply gestured at ruins and asked how many more rejections does history need to echo. No, even funnier? Hillary thinks she's feared, not respected, but feared like she's final boss mode in some ancient, glitchy political console. Only now the cheats are gone, the visuals are busted, and the music is just her blaming Russia, sexism, weather, and gravity. Megyn carved through that circus like a knife in buttery spin. Between delusion and Hillary sits a masterclass of branding minus charm and built-in contradictions. Recall her pivot to relatability? As if plaid shirts undo decades worth of cold-blooded PR dodging.
Hillary Clinton just weighed in publicly again on why she lost. And just in case you were thinking it was because she didn't go to Wisconsin, you are wrong. It is you, women of America. It is your fault. She now sits down for an interview and decides that the reason she didn't win is American females. That they didn't like that she wasn't.
Megyn Kelly turned that entire act into something straight from a late-night parody penned by disconnected junior writers. Hillary enters interviews like the universe owes her a gratitude note for merely existing within this era. Megyn took that entitlement and made a piñata, blindfolded, swinging with ferocity, cracking it open using sarcasm sharper than anything in Hillary's agenda binder. She speaks on transparency like illusionists discuss tricks, always with a wink and trapdoor. Megyn didn't blink. Every Hillary speech includes more footnotes than IRS documents. Megyn skimmed the Cliff's Notes and laughed at what was glaring. If truth exists there, it's tucked behind security, layered in bureaucracy, and triple encrypted under veils of deflection. Then comes the debris, staffers, donors, partnerships, entire zones who voted once and ghosted. Hillary views support like it's leased. Megyn made that contract into comedy because nothing screams people first like $250,000 talks to banks while tweeting about equality from a Gulf Stream.
Hillary Clinton decided to drop an op-ed in the New York Times today that's entitled, "How much dumber will this get?" And she uses Signalgate and the messaging by Pete Hegseth and Mike Walls and JD Vance and Tulsi and others on there as the jumping off point to talk about how dumb the Trump administration is. Some highlights.
And we can't ignore the wild shape-shifting. One day she's progressive champion. Next she's a moderate, then a feminist icon, followed by some foreign policy wizard with charm of frozen Excel files. Megyn didn't just highlight the chaos. She launched it into Fantasyland, where believers still think 2016 was an error. Hillary's entire playbook is reboot, rebrand, but the product stays static and the tagline feels like history groaning. Her deflections are like interpretive ballet in slow motion. Megyn watched silently, letting it play out before critiquing with joy, like someone waiting years for closure. The choreography is stale, the routine recycled, the lights exhausted. Megyn handed the mirror over, letting us decide who forgot the rhythm. Hillary clutches power like a child shaking emptiness, praying for a coin. Megyn didn't even push. The illusion of control toppled unprovoked. For a supposed unifier, Hillary's true talent is chaos. Her presence distorts energy, confusion, fatigue, all staged. Megyn brought a megaphone to silence and made sure every jab echoed.
Are gutsy. And in case you just need a little bit more of a description, here's a part, I won't make you watch the whole, a part of the trailer for Gutsy.
We're hitting the road to shine a light on women who inspire us to be bolder and braver.
Leadership doesn't look one way. It's a giant rainbow.
That obsession with legacy is perhaps the funniest part. Hillary hopes to be remembered for shattering ceilings, but all she's done is hide pieces in corners and charge entry fees to view. Megyn pierced that fragile monument and discovered it packed with old slogans and expired press clippings. Hillary yearns for textbooks, but delivers footnotes and skipped chapters. And let's not claim she's above the mess. She's submerged in it, tossing barbs like a sideline pundit who's forgotten the rules. Megyn made that sideline into blooper footage. Every tweet, every statement, every smirk dodging accountability. All felt like a sitcom sans laugh track. Megyn's just observing from the couch, drink in hand, pointing out plot gaps. Hillary still appears like a solution to questions no one's posed since 2016. Her new platform runs on petty interviews and paperweight book deals.
Talk politics for a minute. Hillary Clinton is back doing a late night tour. She spoke with Jimmy Fallon and she had some thoughts on this boiling down to Trump versus Biden again.
What do you say to voters who are upset that those are the two choices?
Get over yourself. Those are the two choices.
Yeah, love that.
Right? And
good.
you know, it's kind of like one is old and effective and compassionate, has a heart, and really cares about people. And one is old and has been charged with...
Megyn didn't just ruin the persona. She exposed the system. Influenced via nostalgia, strategy by flashbacks, relevance by sheer volume. Every time Hillary tweaks the message, Megyn's already flipping receipts, highlighting the details. This belief that Hillary is untouchable because of her past? Maybe if past includes ambition calculated, image curated, and avoiding fallout masterfully. Megyn tore that myth like tissue from a press folder. She didn't laugh at hardships. She mocked the spin. There's a clear line between strength and evasion. Hillary's lived inside that second act long before touchscreens. Megyn didn't assassinate the persona. Hillary wrote the part, directed scenes, and passed out programs. Megyn just highlighted the missing twist. Watching Hillary reinvent herself feels like a rerun nobody wanted, with identical scripts but darker filters. Megyn showed us backstage and warned, if endings never change, maybe stories weren't worth watching again.
Joe and Kamala can win by 3 million votes and still lose. Take it from me. So we need numbers overwhelming so Trump can't sneak or steal his way to victory.
Okay. So why can't a smart guy like Maher know that? I mean, he genuinely seemed surprised to hear this from me. He doesn't, I think it's just his true hatred.
And the ironic twist, Hillary still believes a microphone is hers by default. She steps onto platforms with classic swagger, presenting old policies like they hadn't been discarded seasons prior. Megyn Kelly didn't need debates. She merely arrived and displayed what unfolds when presentation overreaches substance. The audience shifted, the music's offbeat, and the cheers now sound like distant echoes from bygone campaigns. The roast isn't finished. Hillary's still under lights trying to draft another scene, but Megyn has already played the bloopers, the outtakes, and the script coordinator cringing nearby. And somewhere between published memoirs and forced photo moments, truth emerges. Hillary Clinton doesn't represent tomorrow. She's a gag in motion. And Megyn Kelly ensured we all had VIP seating. She enters rooms as if fate robbed her of destiny's promise. But Megyn didn't give that delusion oxygen. She crushed it using years of reality, alongside closets full of unanswered inquiries. Hillary's top strength has never been resolution, just surviving crisis after crisis.
Created this entire storyline around the Russians doing these terrible things in tandem with Donald Trump in order to, yes, hurt Trump, but also mostly to distract from her own scandal. And we also know that Obama knew. He knew about it. He was told by his intelligence agencies in the late summer and fall of 2016.
And Megyn did more than revisit. She brushed off, ignited, and turned scandals into a political firework extravaganza. There's no Hillary edition that wasn't pre-tested by strategy experts. Each haircut, every tone shift, every viral quip, all curated and presented like test-driven branding campaigns. But Megyn peeled it back, exposing the basics. Behind all the polish is someone who's rewritten her origin tale more frequently than she's given honest replies. That's where the burn hits deepest. straight through the sculpted legend. Hillary no longer inspires dread. She's examined, picked apart, and laughed at publicly. Megyn clarified it well. Any intrigue around her dissolved long ago beneath too many revivals and too few truths. She's no phoenix, just syndication. And every time she tries ascending, it's less flame, more artificial smoke. Politics move forward, new faces, louder crises. But Hillary still auditions for a show that's been canceled. Megyn didn't need to yell. She stepped calmly through rubble and pointed toward the dim spotlight. That's the real sting. Hillary's legacy became her cage, a title that evokes punchlines, not hope. In the finale, Megyn didn't only ruin the illusion, she reminded us all why the follow-up failed.